Hi everyone, my name is Allison Yang, and today we are going to discuss about the picture board book 15 Animals by Sandra and Boynton. Here's a nice preview of the beautiful book. I love this little interactive window. I love it. I think it's an easy way to catch a child's attention. I'm so sorry about that. But yeah, 15 Animals is a very light and playful book. There are rhythmic features, like the words are rhythmic. So we have the narrator, this little cute boy right here, and he introduces us to his 15 different animals. So the first animal introduced is a cat, and the cat's name is Bob, and then we are introduced to the next animal whose name is also Bob. So we have a cat and a dog. They're both named Bob. And as if you can kind of catch on by now, humorously, all of the other animals are also named Bob except for one special animal. Well, all of the animals are special, but this last animal has a very long name. So this book is building on repetition and silliness for readers. They kind of get to meet each different animal in order, and it makes it fun and easy for children to read out loud, and the children get to anticipate then like what's coming next, what's the next animal, what is the next name. Based off just looking at all the other books on this little back cover, we can kind of see that the illustrations from this book it's like a classic. It follows through. It's classic to Sandra's or Miss Boynton's style. It's bright and it's bold, it's cartoon-like, with the animals having very expressive features. I love the way that these animals are illustrated. It's very silly, and I think they are drawn so cutely. So each page features an animal, a new animal, and it takes up most of the space, which makes it very easy for our young readers to focus on these cute animals and the details. So the cover shows a collection of all these cheerful animals all together, and it gives us a sneak peek of what's inside. As for the genre, the book falls under, children's, specifically preschool and TK picture board books. There's humor and it's rhythmic. For example, I'll quickly read a little bit, let's just read the first page. I really like animals. I like them a lot. 15 animals is what I've got. So if we read it a certain way, we can see that lot and got they rhyme together. They have the ending sounds that rhyme. So I would also say that this is very clearly designed for early readers and preschool age children. It has simple text, two fish called Bob and Bob. When I first read this page, I was like, oh, it's very humorous. It's like, I thought it was so cute. It's very engaging. The repetition is engaging. The animals are engaging. The way that these pictures are drawn, the illustrations. Oh, that's a sneak peek of my favorite little page or quote. But yes, the way it's just drawn and everything, the funny illustrations makes it very engaging for young readers, and it qualifies as like a concept literature. So it introduces counting, which the number is counting up to 15. So it's very accessible in a playful way. And to our regarding our direct quote and why I like it, my favorite quote from this book is when we are introduced to our rabbits or so. So it says, "There's my rabbit Bob and his bunny wife Bob." I really like this quote, and because it's again humor, and it just builds up on repetition and humor. It's funny I think it's funny, and I think for some kids it'll be like surprising and again funny, because a girl animal would be named Bob. Like they wouldn't really expect a girl animal to be named Bob. Excuse me. And what I also really liked was like the slight little differentiation of how this animal was or is a rabbit, but his wife is a bunny. So I really like the small little details like that really can have students think a little bit more and think into the humor and fall into it. The silliness throughout this book, like the repetition of the animals being named Bob, it encourages laughter throughout all age groups, you know, and it helps children remember, I would say that it helps children remember names, numbers, animals. Regarding the strengths and weaknesses throughout this book or from this book, some strengths I would say is that the language is simple and it's repetitive and it's playful. It makes it perfect for our preschool children and early elementary. The humor keeps the children engaged while also supporting early counting 1 through 15 and sequence skills. The illustrations are also bold and clear, bright. It's not small. It takes up a good page. It takes up a good amount. It is the center of every page we see, and it helps a lot with our visual learners. Some weaknesses I would say is that the story is very light, like on a plot wise. It's more of like a counting book and maybe like some, you know, counting and humor. So I think for older readers, like maybe first and second, it may not have much depth for them. And also because again with the weaknesses, because of the silliness from the book, it may not really hold a child's attention for a long amount of time, the same way that an in-depth story-driven book would. But for some readers, some readers might just also skim through the book, you know, not really delve into the, you know, the humor, the little details. They might just look at the animals. That's really it. I used to work with children for a literacy program, and I think that's definitely something my students would have done too. They would have pointed out the colors of this bird's tails. Anyways, I'm beginning to miss them, but we should not get sidetracked. On to our last point of discussion, the classroom activity that I think could be used for a simple, playful book like this, you know, renaming animals. So I think, of course, this book would work best with pre-K, like, preschool through TK, maybe first grade, you know, they're still learning. It can be tied to counting and naming things, naming animals, and even creative writing. So I would say, like, after reading the book to your children, we would give each child a blank sheet of paper or like a template of animals on it, about 5 to 10 different animals, and ask each student to name their animals, give them a unique name. Ask them to think outside of the box rather than just having them name their animals Bob, although it is very silly and it is very creative and engaging how students can tie that back to the story they read. Then they can, just simply color and decorate their template, decorate and color their animals. And then as a class, the students can share their animals and the names that they've chosen out loud. Kind of reinforces vocabulary with each other, speaking skills, and creativity. And another alternative that I kind of thought was also like having these students write the names of their animals, names of their peers in the classroom, to kind of like help the students, help these little human beings engage with each other and learn their friends' names, and learning how to write their friends' names, because even in kindergarten, students give out little Valentine's Day goodies, and I think it's something that they would want to learn how to do as well, writing their friends' names, because it gives them that independence that some little children look forward to. You know, and in conclusion, this activity encourages literacy, like naming and writing, and art, while also keeping in the humor from the book, tying back to that humor and the original fun and silliness from the book. Thank you for watching my little discussion about the book 15 Animals by Sandra Boynton. Thank you.